Word up.
Okay. So theoretically, this should be working. We'll see.
Yes, we are having broadcast problems. Seeker and Roses.
You want to move over?
Thank you for waiting.
Oh, Mike's here too.
Oh, hey, how you doing?
Cool, cool.
Before.
Oh, I could hear that, but did you? It was like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, because I put my headphones on because I was like, okay, I don't hear any audio. And I was like, oh,
yeah, no, I think you're coming through.
Cool.
T's still working. Jeez.
Oh, I thought she was saying it's working.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
So Leonard came on before and he was like, ew, Michael.
Yeah, they have a rivalry.
Yeah, that's what I say every time I look in the mirror.
Ew, Michael. Nice.
I'm like that guy again.
Imagine if you saw Leonard when you looked in the mirror. That would be weird.
What is up with your hair, dude?
Don't worry about it, dude. I'm not worried. I'm not like you where like you're like, oh my god, my hair looks terrible. Oh my god. I'm like, my hair looks terrible. Except
it's funny because like there's like that old like not like meme but like wives' tale thing or whatever about like guys and their hair like just naturally looking good and stuff. And like sometimes I like do get out of bed and my hair like somehow looks like perfect and like I can never even style it like that way. Like anytime I try to style my hair, it just looks like garbage. But I'll wake up after like sleeping for like 12 hours and I'll look magnificent. So that kind of annoys me.
You cut your hair, it looks like. Yeah?
Did
you cut it?
Yeah, I cut my hair a while ago.
Was
it looks really weird like that. Nah, it gets like poofy. Like
I got my sides are getting long too. It's getting poofy.
Yeah, my hair actually doesn't look too bad right now, but because I just took a shower. But that's what stops me from growing my hair out is because I have like a 2-month period where my hair just looks weird. It's like
so I want to ask both of you, like, so you're a Star Wars fan. Mike, you're a Star Wars fan. You haven't consumed all of like the extra Star Wars stuff, like Clone Wars and all the other like Rebels.
Yeah, I was a very casual. I would say a little more than casual, but not
a basic fan.
Well, you're a nerd, so you have that part of it, but you're not a casual where you're like your parents. Where they like our parents, like I'm sure that they've watched all the Star Wars movies, but they don't really. Yeah, that's like the general casual thing.
Like for instance, I never hated the prequels. I always could understand why people like would.
I don't hate Jar Jar. I don't get why people like hate him so much. He's just to me, he's just a part of Star Wars, but people really don't like him. Could you fix that, please? Yeah. Just take off the headphones. I'm just asking you to fix the cat.
I think I like him more than I like C-3PO, to be honest. C-3PO would always make me mad.
Oh yeah,
but
I think he's.
But yeah, Well, what was your question? Sorry to derail you.
Okay, so my question is, you guys have heard about all the new Star Wars news, D23 or whatever just happened, and they just announced a ton of Star Wars news. No, none of it.
No.
So they showed the trailer for Ahsoka, which looks awesome in my opinion.
I think I saw screens of that.
I think she's my second favorite character, Obi-Wan and then her, but the Obi-Wan show wasn't very good. They should have made it into a movie. Like, I think if they just made a movie about him, it would have been...
The plot just wasn't good.
Well, I think it was like they had to make it into a show and they just... Yeah. I think that if they had like trimmed it down, made it into a movie,
hired better writers,
had the budget for it, for the like, you know, to make it higher, because it just looked like they were on the volume the whole time. It just looked very volumey, you know?
The problem too is something like we've talked about before, where it's like Star Wars suffers really bad from that they're always making their universe smaller by like either having everyone connected or always bringing back the same characters. Like I feel like that's the biggest thing that holds Star Wars back. Like I don't think you needed like Princess Leia in Obi-Wan for you to like care about like say like that type of plot.
No, but he is very much like connected to them. He was the one that took them and he's the one that saved them, right? He's the one that took them both.
And they have made reference to Leia being friends with Obi-Wan after episode 3.
Yeah, I don't think that was the issue of that show. I think that show was just kind of like, it felt low budget. Like it just felt not great.
I definitely
There were
agree with
moments that I really liked, like when Obi-Wan was like it was all dark and he just like lights up his lightsaber for a sec, takes out a guy, and then goes into the shadows again. It was very much like stealth Jedi, like it was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
What's Ellen
All right,
saying?
so a few people. So Seeker said, has anyone else had a bad day? No, we had worse days this week. Hello LMR. Hello Gonzalo. Are we excited about Hammond movie, Jurassic Park?
Hammond?
I don't know.
Oh, like John, the main guy?
I don't know.
They're making a Jurassic Park about him?
Question.
Who's the old guy?
Yeah, spared no expense from the first one.
I love how this question is only for you two.
Yeah, okay.
I'm debating paying the $300 to build my own lightsaber at Disney. Would you pull the trigger on this item? They do blow away the other sabers available at parks.
I have feelings about this because I think you live in Florida, so it's not the same. If I go there, which I haven't been to any of the Star Wars stuff yet, if I go, I'm probably gonna do it because I want to do it at least once. If you already have one, then no, but like if you're gonna go, but you go to Disney all the time, so it's like I think he goes to Disney all the time, right? He's mentioned Disney a lot. Like at pretty much every week he mentions Disney.
But if you live in Florida, I feel like it's like a hop, skip, and a jump away.
Yeah. So like to us, it's like if I was going, I would definitely do it because I think it would be a cool experience because it's like somewhat customizable because there's like multiple parts you choose and stuff. But it's different for us. But I would say it's I thought it was only 200. I didn't know there were 300. Yeah. They have like the replica ones are pretty nice though too, like because they come in the little box with like this like kind of like a stand thing.
He said he's a pass holder.
See?
So,
yeah.
He said Harry Potter TV show.
Oh, I know. No, there's a lot going on, so we're gonna try to hit all of that.
I've heard about that.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Remember? That's what we talked about it last week. I was like, hey, there's a rumor that they're gonna do this, and then they officially announced it. This week.
Yeah.
But they didn't show anything.
No, because they don't have anything. Yeah. They did show old footage. They showed like the old castle, and they showed the old music. Yeah. Which what are they going? They have to reuse the music, right? The music is too iconic.
I kind of think they may do what they did in Hogwarts Legacy, where they have someone who can make it sound like that. You know what I mean? But not use that old music. Real quick on the lightsaber thing, I can't really comment because I'm not super into that kind of stuff. I think if you are, do it.
Because he said, I didn't think you'd buy the saber, Meek, when I'm the one that brought all the lightsabers into this family.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember seeing your lightsabers in your room.
I have like That's 3 funny. Or 4.
I don't have any.
I have Luke, Anakin. I have a red one too, don't I? Darth
Vader's.
Vader's, yeah. I have those 3 at least, and those are like the old.
Which looks just like Luke's, but it's black.
What do you call it? I forget the company that made them, but they're the ones that like light up like slowly.
Dude, lightsaber technology has gotten like awesome. Like the new stuff.
These are old.
The new stuff, they even have like some that do like the pulse, where it's like, and it has that like like Kylo Ren's how it has that like pulse thing. They can like kind of imitate that look.
Yeah, but like the
from
ones
afar,
I have
like
really at the time, they were the only ones that did that. And I paid like $120 a piece for them.
I also really like how the new lightsabers look with the little like particle effects coming off of them and stuff, and like all of that looks so good.
They're making about the guy who went Welcome to Jurassic Park. Yes, the old man.
Yeah, that was you said before, right? The Hammond. But okay, back to Star Wars. So they announced like 3 or 4 movies. One of them is about the beginning of the Jedi Order, like the first Jedis. Another one is gonna be like a new trilogy, possibly, like a new new Jedi Order. So it's gonna take place after the new movies that everybody hates. And then
Return of the Jedi Order.
And then there's also possibly there's a new movie that's gonna kind of culminate all of the Disney stuff that's going on, the Disney shows that are going on right now. So like the Ahsoka show, the Mando. And all those stories I think are going to be like it's going to finish in a movie. which could be cool. I'm okay with them just doing more shows about that stuff.
It's funny because I feel like I used to be a much bigger Star Wars fan than you, and now it's kind of reversed.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm still a big Star Wars fan, but like
I love the
I used to
connected
read
universes
like
though.
a bunch of the books back in the day, like before any like shows came out. I feel like that was our only source of like.
Did you read The Heir to the Empire or something like that?
Other characters, I don't know.
Because there's like I think they mentioned that in one of the trailers, like The Heir to the Empire. Which I believe is like about that blue guy, Grand Admiral Thrawn, the one that Ahsoka.
That's a newer book though.
The one that Ahsoka was looking for in the show.
No, but like I used to read the old books that are not canon anymore. But back in the day, that was all you had for extra Star Wars entertainment. Like they didn't have TV shows and movies coming out and all this crazy stuff.
So people complain about all of the like, oh, I have to watch all this stuff. Like Lorenzo, right? Whenever I mention like the Marvel stuff to him, he's like, oh, but I have to like watch all those shows. I'm like, what do you mean? That's a great thing. That's like it's like if it's something that you love,
I can understand.
They make more of it, and it's just like
it's overwhelming to get into.
It's like reading a book series. Right? It's
but if the book series is 30 books long, it's intimidating.
But you read the first one and it's your favorite thing and you love it. Aren't you like, oh, this is great. I have a bunch of stuff to watch.
But the thing too is which I think is like the biggest flaw since Disney took over is like just oversaturation. You do too much. And then at the same time, it's like, it's not like they're like all home runs.
No, you know? But they're all good.
It's not even...
I haven't watched anything but that's like that. I'm just like, oh my god, this is trash. Besides,
speaking about the Marvel stuff though, but saying in terms of Marvel, like some of those shows are just like flat out bad.
I think the only one that was the shows. Wait, hold on. I think that Falcon and Winter Soldier was my least favorite, and I liked all the other ones. I don't have an issue with the other ones. I just had fun. Like I know what I'm getting into. It's a Marvel show.
I really didn't love Miss Marvel.
I did. I liked it.
I know you liked it, but
I don't know why. There was definitely moments where I was just like, this is a kid's show. You know, like it definitely had that feel for some of it. But I was like, it's still fun though. Like I can look at it as like a kid's show and appreciate it. Just like cartoons. I watch Steven Universe. You know what I mean? It's not a great show, but I really like it because I watch it knowing what I'm gonna watch. Yeah. Like and like right now I'm watching Death Note with you, and like it's fine.
Yeah, boy.
It's fine. I feel like it doesn't hold up as
well. I feel like now that we're older, we keep finding loopholes.
Yeah,
in the
I'm just
story.
like I'm like this is unrealistic. Like they can't figure this out by them. Like just by one clue, he figured out this whole like thing. You know.
It totally is like. It totally is like they think of a way for things to work out how that character wants them to, and that's just it.
Yep.
It's like, well, what are the odds? It's like, don't think about the odds.
Yeah.
He thought about it so I know what you're saying.
I get it now, but I still think it's fun. Nostalgia.
No, it is, but I'm just saying I watch it knowing what it is, and I know that it's like an older show too. So like older shows always fall into that because I feel like as shows get newer shows, at least good ones, they tend to be more complex, more cinematic, more like, you know, thought out. Like, because remember, like old TV, like your parents love old movies, and every time they're like, "Oh, did you watch that? Remember that bridge movie? Something about a bridge. It's like army. It's like an army thing."
Oh, I did see that. Jacob's Ladder is terrible.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
And dude, I love seeing some old movies sometimes just because the main characters are so like different than what a main character would be. Like it's just like this goofy looking, like always, you know, from the time it's always goofy looking, like mostly out of shape, just white guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that is not at all what like he's not like buff, he's not even in like shape. That's like
he's not even good looking.
To me, that's like he's just not good looking. It's like
but that's what I like about like a lot of
we could have been like mega stars.
A lot of British like television is that like they just pick like I feel like a lot of times they just pick the best actors. They don't go by like solely looks. Like I think a lot of American television is like it's like looks first and then we'll see if you can act.
Yeah.
But you're hot, so you're in. You know, like I feel like other countries. It's like not all of them, you know, obviously, but I think like England is a lot. Like not saying that English actors are ugly, but they are. A lot of them are.
Dude, not to be a jerk, but like kind of like along the lines of like a Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
That dude would
yeah.
not be a mega, and he's not like.
But he is now. He is here now.
I don't know. Women find him very attractive.
It's his sexy voice.
Because he's famous.
Because he's famous.
Maybe.
It's because he's famous.
No,
Maybe.
it's because he's famous.
Real quick though on the Death Note thing, I haven't seen a lot of this, so feel free to correct me. But I also feel like the oh my god, mind blown, like crazy scheme that played out perfectly seems like a real Japanese like thing. Like even in some like non-anime but like just like shows I've seen. Like I don't know. I don't even know if Squid Game was Japanese. I don't remember.
No, it's Korean.
Or something. Korean. Okay, yeah. But like even that had a little bit of that. So I almost wonder if it's like.
I don't feel like it's a Japanese stereotype, to be honest. Like we watch a lot of stuff, and I don't think it's a stereotype. However, I do think it is a stereotype in general. Like I've seen it in other things, but I mean, I don't know. I'm still really enjoying it, and it's kind of just bringing back a lot of memories. But it's definitely. I'm smarter now, and I've experienced things now, and we sit there and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, how would this happen? Or he wouldn't do that. There's no way.
Like his grand. Oh, I don't know where you are. So I don't.
No, we've already watched the whole thing.
Yeah, we've
just rewatching it.
I was just gonna say like this whole plan that like revolves around him like losing his memory, but then being able to get it back. Yeah. It's like, boy, are you lucky that worked.
Yeah, right.
Of course, it's gonna work.
So going back, I'm sorry you were sick, Seeker. The Seeker has the classic and new lightsabers.
Nice.
I know you went to Star Wars and just went. I know you went to Star Wars and just went to Marvel, but I'd love it if before Yoda died, what if he chuckled and went, kissed your sister, you did, just dies. I mean, that would be kind of funny. I miss Sherlock, said LMR. Have you seen the stereotype where people say, what? No, I haven't seen that stereotype. I mean, wait, I guess I kind of have, because like if you have anything that's resembling like Avatar, for example, like anime
well, it depends.
Style, like people are like, it's not real anime.
I feel like it depends on what you consider like anime. You know what I mean? Like,
it
what
doesn't bother me.
What is your definition of anime? Is it the art style, but there's so many different art styles for anime, or is it strictly like, hey, it comes from Japan?
You look at an anime though, and you know it's an anime.
I feel like to me, anime has to be from Japan, or any other,
or it's just a cartoon.
Yeah,
well, otherwise Pixar is anime.
I disagree. I disagree with that. I disagree with that assessment. Like, I totally think like Americans can make anime, and I think, and I've like been friends with people who are like super into anime, like more than even like you guys and stuff.
I mean, we're not like crazy fan people.
I'm not into animes. I just like good animes. Like, some people just, like, watch everything.
Like, my sister watches about 20 anime at a time, every season.
It's crazy. And
she's, like, nuts.
So, is she, like, a purist, though?
Because yes, she watches in Japanese, too. She's one of those dumb people. Yeah, see, I hate it.
Yeah, see, that's just, exactly.
I make fun of her every time.
He does.
Because I hate it, because she doesn't, she's like, oh, my God, the voice acting is so much better. No, it's not. You don't know. You don't know if it is. You don't speak the language. If you spoke Japanese, I would say, sure. You can say that. You literally cannot say that.
The voice acting is perfectly fine in English most of the time.
It's great. The actors are great. Old anime, not so much.
Is nostalgic to me in Japanese just because I originally watched it in Japanese. Yeah, because
you used to hang out with her
before
really, you met me.
Sailor Moon I originally watched in English, and I prefer it in English. But for example,
there's no way anyone can convince me that there's like a more iconic like voice for like Dragon Ball Z than the American voice actors.
Like, I've watched the Japanese voice actors, and I think the American ones, like, I resonate with them more. Like, I just do.
All right, we got off topic. Star Wars.
Well, they asked favorite anime.
Take 3.
Favorite anime.
Attempt 3 to talk about.
Overlord. Right now, Overlord. Yeah.
I don't know. Does it count that Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite movie?
No, because it depends. They're saying anime, or are they talking about a show or a movie?
Mario Brothers crushed the box office. The Japanese made it, I heard. What does that mean?
I don't know. But people, like, the critics are so funny about what's it called right now because they hate it. They hate Mario. Like, the critics are hating on Mario.
Really?
But the fan, the regular audience reviews are like 96%, and it's like 65 for or like 60 for the thing.
Do you know what they're saying?
They're just saying that
what
it's
they're
like
saying?
as a movie, it's not very good.
Yeah, well, we knew
it's
that.
just like an act. It's just
gonna be
like
fun.
it's just like what is it called? Fan service, and there's no real plot, and there's no they're not true to the lore, and yeah, I mean those are all things that the review people said. There's also some where they're like, I haven't played video games in a while, but this movie is not very, and it's just
Mario is literally the most simplistic video game you can absolutely get.
We haven't watched it. Have you watched it?
No.
Yeah, we haven't watched it, but I'll watch it. I have, and I know exactly what to expect, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna deliver exactly what I want it to be.
Mario, like if you tell me you're making a movie about Mario, after I stop laughing and say that's ridiculous, I would say that it's like that's one of the few instances where I think it makes sense to be largely fan service.
Yeah.
You know,
and
it's not exactly
what I've seen from the trailers and stuff. It looks good. It looks like what I expect it to be.
I saw one trailer and it actually made me laugh. Like when they were having that war with the penguins, I think.
Oh yeah.
Like I thought that was pretty.
You remember that?
What?
The penguins are all like, "Well, you will not stop us," blah blah blah, and they like start throwing snowballs at Bowser and stuff, and then Bowser just melts their castle.
And he has a
that was in the trailer. I don't remember this.
Yeah, he has like a menacing voice.
Yeah.
Give you one chance to like turn around. I thought that.
And he's a cute little penguin.
I don't.
Go ahead.
I don't put any stock in critic reviews anymore. Unless there's what I feel like a real evident backlash where fans may tank a score.
Yeah.
I tend to believe unless that's happening, which I actually think is rarely, but unless that happens, I tend to go by the fan reviews.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense when there's a movie where the critics are saying.
So Star Wars, they're doing like 3 or 4 movies, and they're starting this new trilogy. Daisy Ridley's back. I actually really like her. I know a lot of people don't like her.
Oh, she's back?
Yeah,
okay.
I actually really like her, and I think it's going to take place like 15 years after the last movie, something like that. Like some time's going to go by, and she's going to be like what she is now, like the age that she is now.
Real quick, on the topic of her and Episode 7 in general, everyone changed their mind about what they thought of those characters and about Episode 7 after Episode 8. People loved.
I love 7. I still love 7.
Dude.
It's still like one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Star Wars movie. And I know that it's a rehash of the original, but I loved it. I thought it was a great like new take on Star Wars. It sucks the direction that they went, but I still like, and I still love her as like the main like character. I think she's great. I think she's a good actress.
Yes. And people complaining that she gets strong out of nowhere. Go watch the original Star Wars when Luke suddenly is
he just comes back in the last movie. He just comes back as like a master or whatever.
Well, if you have the Force, like you have that ability.
He's just because everybody complained that she was like a Mary Sue or whatever, where she just like was super powerful out of nowhere just because she was a girl or whatever. But Luke did come back in his black outfit, all
he didn't
super
even
strong.
Finish his training with Yoda.
I know. But the thing is too, I think they would have done more. He would have been more powerful if they had the effects back then. If they had actually like the ability to do all the stuff that they probably did now, like when they show her carrying all, like lifting all the rocks and stuff, and like that was
I just find it.
I
think I remember her saying that she was done after Episode 9, so it just kind of irks.
She got a lot of like
that
hate,
she's
though.
like coming back.
Yeah, eight made people. It's called revisionist history. 8 made people turn on Star Wars altogether. Like there were tons of people hating on Episode 7. We're like, dude, when this came out, everybody was like, "Thank you, God, Star Wars is back." And honestly, I think I've always said, I think it was a genius move to rehash the original Star Wars, because it was a nice way to ease you back. It was a nice way to like be familiar, but then still be like, "Hey, this isn't the prequel, guys. This is the Star Wars you like." I thought it was genius, and I loved Rey. So if she's coming back, that's like that's a plus for me.
I like her orange lightsaber.
Yeah.
You don't like her.
Oh, she has an orange lightsaber?
I just like, I don't like people that do that. That they're just like, no, I'm done with this. I
What do you
don't need it
mean?
in my life. And then she's like, oh, I'm
Dude,
coming
you know how
back.
much hate she probably got from people like that just were
Yeah.
blaming her for playing a part in a movie? Like,
I
Yeah.
guess.
it makes you feel like crap. You know what I mean?
Did you hear they got rid of the bad writers in Doctor Who and got one of the original writers?
Oh
back?
yeah, they got rid of that idiot, that freaking and the other stupid lady. Like, finally, we're getting back to the real Doctor Who. Hopefully,
Dre.
the new Doctor is actually good, and you know they are back to I forgot his name, but no, I don't know who that is.
What?
John Boyd.
Tennant? Was it
That's
Tennant or
that's
no?
Finn, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
FN
Tennant, right?
287
Tennant's
or
back,
something.
right?
Who? Yeah, he's only back for a short
Tennant?
period though. Yeah.
Also-
He's like a intermediate, like
I just-
between, like, and it's weird because he's like a half regeneration of like an old Doctor, which I don't know how they're gonna explain that, but like I think it's just they're just trying to get the fan base back on board with like one of the most popular Doctors
See?
ever, which I'm okay with.
Smart move.
Yeah,
Smart move.
yeah, and they're bringing back like one of like his writer, like basically when Tennant was the Doctor, they're bringing back the person that was in charge when he was the Doctor. So,
That's cool.
which is it's basically what made Doctor Who popular again was after what's his name,
Eccleston.
Christopher Eccleston. Yeah, I think after him is really when he picked up. Like that, Christopher Eccleston was the first new Doctor, right? When they not rebooted it, but
Toward
brought
the
it
end,
back.
it wasn't bad though. Like it was really
Eccleston
cheesy
was-
in the beginning of his season.
Well, just the effect. Doctor Who is always like a little cheesy, and the effects they've gotten a lot better because they've gotten cheaper, like with the newer seasons. I think the newest season with what's her face,
I would love Matt Smith to come back too.
yeah, he's my favorite. I would love to see him. Like they always do like the anniversary specials where they bring back some of the old Doctors because it's time travel, right? So they can meet up and like team up.
That's cool.
And there was a David Tennant, Eccleston, or not Eccleston. Eccleston didn't want to come back because he hates Doctor Who.
Hey,
Um,
nine.
But Tennant and Smith and there was like the War Doctor, if you remember that. The
Didn't
one
like 5 come back or something?
yeah, I love Doctor Who so much. I miss it. I want it to be good again. So Star Wars, they're doing some new shows and stuff, and it. I think
real
right
quick,
now,
Ray. What is she in? Is Ray in a live action show?
I don't think she's in the show because most of the shows
Oh.
right now are taking place between, what is it? Between
Was the guy who played Barty Crouch Jr. a good Doctor Who?
yes,
Yes.
he was.
Yes,
he was
he
one
was.
of the favorites right now. He's my second favorite. Matt Smith's my first favorite, but then my favorite. But okay, so right now, like all the Disney Plus Star Wars stuff takes place between 6 and 7. Episode
Okay.
6 and 7, I think. So after Luke
So
becomes,
that's what I'm saying. Though, what is Ray coming back in? Like,
she's coming in a movie.
cartoon?
Movie.
Oh, a movie.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be like the Jedi Order or something.
But is
like
it
that.
like a
Trying to
theater
rebuild.
movie or Disney Plus
Well,
movie?
if they're making a Star Wars movie, it's going to theaters, and then it'll be in
Straight to
Disney Plus.
VHS.
Yeah,
Remember
straight
the
to
Wake Up
VHS
song
only.
in Doctor Who.
Betamax or whatever it
Wake
was.
Up song.
Laser disc.
No,
I don't know what that is.
9. Stop. Bottom.
Dude, I wish. I just want them to put John Favreau in charge of like everything. 'Cause
No,
from what I understand,
not Favreau. Favreau's good though. I like him, but him and the other guy that's doing all of the you can see a lot of his stuff in the new Mandalorian and all that stuff. So Favreau is the guy that's the director guy, right? The main
Yeah,
guy that
from
that
Iron
started
Man.
the Mandalorian. But what is it called?
yes.
Oh. I want to see what is his name?
It's not like the main lore guy, is it? You're talking about, or is it the actual director?
I don't know why I can't remember it. It's not the. Is this? IMDb?
No.
I don't want actors. I want directors. Is this the show? Is this the show?
Clone Wars, the
Final series.
animated.
Okay, yeah. So where would be the director or the? It wouldn't
So you're
be.
looking for the director of
All
Clone
cast
Wars?
and crew production.
There.
Filoni?
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni?
Yeah. He's like the main guy for the Clone Wars stuff, and he has a lot of input into the current Disney Plus shows right now. Him and Favreau, but he's the one, like, he created Ahsoka. He basically was in charge of a lot of the story, I believe, for the Clone Wars stuff, and he, I think, was also in charge of the Rebels stuff. Rebels is like okay, it has a lot of cool stuff, but it's not like, it was more childish to me than Clone Wars was. Clone Wars, I think, was a little bit more adult.
I never watched Rebels.
We never finished Rebels.
Yeah.
We watched 3 seasons of it.
I remember nothing.
There's 6, but basically the Mandalorian right now is like a sequel to Rebels.
Interesting.
Ahsoka's in it, Obi-Wan's in it, like a bunch of the clones, some of the clones are in it. But it takes place after Order, killed Jedi goes down.
Interesting.
And it's good. I really hope, though, they bring what's his face in. I really hope from the game, because he's a real actor. He's, you know what I mean? He's a real life person, and from the game.
The main guy from Fallen Order or whatever.
Yeah, I hope it would be awesome.
What's actually his name?
What?
I can't remember.
Cal?
I can't remember his character's name.
Cal. I think it's Cal.
Yes, Cal Keston or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is the actor looks just like him. They modeled him off of the actor, and I think it'll be awesome if they like brought him in for something, like, he's in, and I don't know if it's canon. I don't know if it's considered canon for the main story right now.
I figured that like Ahsoka would spoil the end of Rebels, but he's like, you may need to finish Rebels because Ahsoka takes place after it. But I don't remember anything. I feel like I'd have to start from the beginning.
Ahsoka takes place after that, but so does the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
like
but
everything.
We don't see as much of
we need to watch Rebels.
Okay. I need to.
Is there much more left that you haven't seen?
Yeah, there's like 6 seasons.
How long is it?
5 or 6 seasons.
How many episodes each?
I don't know. They're short. They're all like they're like, the 20 minute long episodes. They're not like.
Just watch it at 2 times speed. You'll be done in no time.
We can't, though, because not all things support that.
And I can't.
Disney Plus doesn't have that.
I'm really bad at listening to things.
Dude, when
I
want to watch a crappy movie, I totally do that on Netflix. I'll watch it on my iPad just so I could watch it at fast.
I don't understand how people.
You just don't be stupid, and you could hear it and understand.
There's no way you could fully understand people talking.
I can when it's a crappy movie like Red Notice or whatever it's called, that one with The Rock and
crazy,
Ryan Reynolds that I wanted to watch, and I was like, this movie's gonna suck, so I watched it in like 2 times speed.
But like a lot of people on like BookTube, for example, they'll like sample their audiobook they're listening to, and it's literally like 3 times speed, and it's like you are literally not able to understand that. I don't care who you are.
I only do that when
you miss stuff when it's that high, high of a speed.
I just do that when I don't care about the book and I just want to get it over with, But yeah, normally 1.5, 1.75 is what I used to.
I start.
And if I really like the book, I'll drop it down to like 1.3.
I start at 1.2 and then eventually usually make my way to 1.5.
Did you read Mistborn
and that's like
yet?
where I max out.
Not yet. I'm on the last Harry Potter book. And then I can't decide if I'm going to move to that or the last 2 books of Lord of the Rings, but I'm getting to it. I'm a reading machine now, baby. I'll get to
Lord
it.
of the Rings is garbage.
What's this?
I've read the first 2. I like them. Once I get in the groove, they're enjoyable.
You said if you need to speed it up, just watch something else, Kivox.
No, you got to watch bad stuff sometimes. You can't just watch bangers all the time. You got to watch bad things, otherwise the bangers don't bang as hard. They don't slap.
I hate that term. Oh my god.
Bangers don't slap.
Yeah, they hit different. Yeah, no, I don't know. I disagree, dude. It's kind of like, especially with like all of these shows now and stuff. And I feel like and I'm not just talking.
Well, sometimes I
like,
can't watch something good because she wants to watch it, but she doesn't want to watch it right now. So I gotta find something to fill in the gap while I wait for
Do you have
her
any-
to eventually want to
Do you
watch
have-
one episode of something. Then I gotta wait 3 years to watch the rest because I'm not allowed to watch anymore.
Dude, do you know how many shows I've started with Mary Lynn where we get like halfway through, or some of them we've gotten like 2 episodes
I can
away from
imagine,
the
bro.
finale.
Yeah.
And so I told her now, I'm like, listen, if you're like with Stranger Things, I'm like, are we watching this? Because if not, I'm watching. Like, are we really watching this? Because I'm watching this without you. Like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like when I rewatched Lost a couple months ago, I wasn't even saying anything to it because I was like, no, because what's gonna happen? We're gonna get close.
I give him a list
2.5.
of things that he's allowed to watch without me. Like
It's
stuff
so annoying.
That I just
Like
don't care
I haven't
about.
finished My Hero Academia because she doesn't want to. I haven't finished Attack on Titan. I haven't finished so many animes that we start and then you never want to like finish them.
You gotta watch them in secret without it, bro.
You know what the crazy thing is?
Last time you did that, I got so
You know
mad.
what the
I
crazy-
still remember, and
I didn't do
mad.
it in secret. I told her I watched it. I just told her. It wasn't a big
And
deal.
I'm still really mad about it.
And I was like, just watch it, dude. Anyway, the worst
Don't
part
do that.
is that shut up. Let me tell my story, please. The worst part is that when I'm like, hey, you want to watch something? And she's like what? And I'm like, I don't know. What are you in the mood for? I don't know. Okay, how about this
Like what?
show? And she's like, either she says no or she goes, I guess. And I'm like, okay, well, if you don't want to watch
she's like,
that,
wait,
then what do you want to watch?
Then she goes, after we eat, I'm starving. And then you go, what do you want to eat? And she's like, anything. And then you're like, what about this? No, anything but that.
But then it's usually like, I'm like, what do you want to watch? And she's like, what are my options? And I'm like, all the things that we've started, any of them.
This is legit.
And then recently,
like a conversation we have every other day.
and then recently, she's like, let's start watching Death Note. And I'm like, what? We first of all, we already watched it, and now we're like 7 episodes in. And I'm just like
7 episodes, so about 3 more, and then you guys can stop watching that.
There we go. Yeah.
For 2.5.
People let me watch Spy Family because I really
Oh my
like
God,
Spy
it's such
Family.
a boring show, Spy Family.
I think it's so cute and I love it.
You would hate it, Mike. You would hate it.
You gotta watch the prequel, Spy Kids, first,
Mm.
and then you can move on to Spy Family.
It's fine.
Yeah, dude,
3 episodes. I'm like, this is good. I like it. And then it was just like the rest was just the same thing, and I'm just like, this is no longer good. I do
What?
something different. Wait, I just said like a whole paragraph.
What show are you talking about?
Spy Family.
Oh.
The show that's the same thing all the time, and there's no stakes. And I never think that anything bad will ever happen because guess what? It hasn't.
Sometimes it's great.
It's been like 15 episodes and nothing bad has
to
happened.
happen. I'm with both of you, Meek and Kivox, on Spy Fam. How?
Dude, that's what made the early Game of Thrones so good. Is like the coolest character ever could just die out of nowhere.
Mhm.
Like he could step on like a plant and then like die because it was poison.
Yeah,
You just never knew.
That's what I like
And
about
then they ended up
D&D,
getting.
is that
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
everybody could die. And I am always hoping for it. I'm always like, come on.
Even the
This is-
dungeon master.
This is the one. I die all the time. All of my monsters die. I throw them at the party and they all die. Like, I die
Except
every
for, like,
game.
Someone said Spy Family's like Attack on Titan without Titans.
I
That sounds fun.
It's like the boring part of it, because the only
Yeah.
exciting part is when there's Titans.
Yeah,
Except
I
the
don't
only
even know the
difference is that
context,
it's
but that
cute.
sounds
The only
hilarious.
difference is that it's cute, right? It has a lot of like, I'm a little girl. We gotta go on a outing.
outing.
We gotta go on an outing.
An
It's like,
outing.
ugh. It was cute the
Dude,
first
I'm telling
time,
you,
and then they just
you guys
keep
have to watch
doing
that
it.
monster show, bro. Yeah, like that monster show. It like
It just
scratches
seems
a
so
similar-
serious. I
What
just
monster show?
it's called Monster.
So here's no the thing though is like I like it for the same reasons that I like Death Note, but
Mhm.
it's not that like corniness that you guys are seeing now
Mhm.
and stuff. I'm telling you, I think you would dig it or you'll hate it. One of the other.
Well, either way, I can make.
We
fun
should
of it.
talk about the new Harry Potter show
Okay, so I'm excited about it. I don't care. The old stuff is still going to be around. It's not going anywhere. So if you like that, enjoy that.
And
It's just
let's
more
get real.
content. I don't care.
Let's be honest. Those movies suck.
They aren't good.
Those movies.
They are not
those
good.
movies were largely horrible adaptations. The first two were amazing. The third one was okay.
The fourth one is when they dropped the ball. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I haven't seen. After I finish the book, I'm gonna watch the movies. But if I'm remembering correctly, the Half-Blood Prince was like not even the book. Like it didn't like show any of the important stuff in the book. So like I understand being attached to those movies, but those movies weren't really.
Yeah, but isn't this show based on something else? Or
no, they're redoing the original story.
Oh.
Which in they're supposed to be doing not chapter, but season per book. Season 1.
I'm gonna be completely honest though. Is if they just start changing stuff in the ways that Hollywood loves to change stuff now, then I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, like making Hermione black.
Yeah,
don't do that.
I'm sorry. The characters are what they are.
Yeah.
And no one can say otherwise because J.K. Rowling said that the kids were cast exactly like they saw her or how she saw it in her mind.
And if you in book 3, they describe Hermione as white.
And I definitely
she claims that she never said her race or
I definitely think that they will like it sucks because like that's the whole thing now is like if they don't make it way more woke, they are going to get backlash from it because everybody hates her right now and you know she's said bad things and I think if they don't do it then therefore everybody will hate it, right?
Well here's
the game, dude. People even hated on the game that had like a bunch of like representation and I was just like, why are people hating on this because of her name?
Well here's the thing is one, it's never enough.
Yeah.
And then two, people, not that many people are really mad. But here's the thing too, though, is like that stuff in and of itself, I don't really mind. Like I really don't care. But what it is like stuff? I feel like that, like when they woke stuff up. But the thing is I feel like once you see that's like,
would we say wake?
Yeah,
stuff?
when people get waked, no, but it's like
make it.
That's
woke.
when I feel like, yeah, it's like. That's when I feel like that's the first clue that their minds aren't in the right place of adapting it. So then that's when you end up getting like needless changes. You get needless side stories and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like a great example, like I didn't like lose my mind over it. I really didn't mind overall, but like in The Last of Us, that episode that focused on Bill, I didn't mind that episode, except when I found out that the season was only 9 episodes long. Most of them were under an hour. The finale was less than 45 minutes, and the credits was like 5 minutes of that. So that's when it's kind of like, I don't care. Like, I don't mind this stuff. Like, it's fine. But it's like when it takes the front seat where more pertinent stuff could be told. Like, that's honestly, in a different way, I think that's one of the worst things about the original Harry Potter movies is that they added stuff that was totally stupid and useless, but then they took out awesome stuff. And it just seemed like it's just because the director wanted to do something different.
Yeah, they should get
Harry to be James. Yes.
Yes, no, that would be cool. But I don't think they're coming back for anything. They're like disconnecting themselves from J.K. Rowling stuff. But Snape, what's his face? Kylo Ren should play Snape.
Who should?
Kylo Ren.
Dude, that's perfect. Dude,
and he's got the voice and stuff, and like he can probably do an imitation of what's his face. That'd be dope.
Dude, ironically enough, and it's like actually sad, is I was thinking who would have been a great Snape is Lance Reddick, dude. The guy who just passed.
Yeah.
He would have been
because of his voice and stuff. He has like that.
Yeah, his demeanor. He has that menacing. Yeah. Dude, he would have been.
I think Kylo Ren could do it. What's his name? Adam Driver.
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah, and he has great. Like the look too. Like he's he has the the look.
And he's
a
closer in
tall
age.
guy. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing, though. What's his face was supposed to be like what 35? Snape in the movies.
30, yeah.
30s
Yeah,
or 40s?
Because it would be Harry's parents' age. He was Harry's parents'
Yeah,
age.
Jake, and they died when they were like 20 or 21.
Yeah, so that's
he would have been like
30 something.
33. And
yeah, the same thing with what's his face, right? Black. He was supposed to. They were both like in their 50s or 60s, weren't they, when they filmed the movies?
What's his face was like 60s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gary Oldman.
I mean, they made him up pretty good, but like he didn't look.
No, what's
He
his
did
name?
not look 30.
Lizzo's gonna be accurate, by the way.
Snape.
No, I'm just kidding.
What's Snape's name? Actor?
Alan Rickman. Rest in peace.
Dude, all the
He was.
whole
I
cast is
thought
like-
he was.
he was great.
What was it?
He was great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I dug him, man. But yeah, that's so interesting you brought up Snape because I randomly thought about who I would start casting as like people, and I feel like I don't know any young actors or I like who would play the big main roles, but I kind of honestly really hope they kind of pull a Star Wars and they go the unknown route.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
always
mean?
like Kylo Ren.
That's
Like
so
he was
good.
unknown
They
when
could totally bring
before. I mean,
McGonagall
he
back.
wasn't. He was no. They can't.
She looks the
she's
same.
so no.
dude.
She doesn't. She really doesn't. Have you seen her other like you know that if you just rewatch Harry Potter, that's not the current version of her, right? That's a movie. I just want to make sure you know that. Because have you seen her in anything recently, Meek? Come on, that was funny. You got to admit that was funny. I've seen her. She's like 90. She's not. I think she's like 89 or something. But she's
Dude.
she's old, man. And then what happens if you cast her? I don't want to be like gloom and doom, but what if you cast her and then she dies? And then you got to recast her like what's his face? Dude, what if they cast what's his face as Dumbledore? I think he was like the best Dumbledore. I loved him. Young
Who?
Dumbledore.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
remember that guy.
Put some makeup, beard on him, and some things. Just have him be like a little bit younger.
Dude, Norman Reedus should be Snape just because it would be funny.
Oh my God, Norman Reedus is not a good actor. Like I've never seen him in anything, but like he just plays that one. Like he was good in what is it, Boondocks or whatever, Boondock Saints.
Boondock Saints.
I do not understand the appeal. I think he is just like
grimy looking.
he's so gross.
Yeah, he does look grimy. Like he does have that like dirty look.
He looks like he doesn't
Some
shower.
people,
Like sweaty.
some people like the dirty look
Ugh.
for their boys, you know.
He's gross.
Dude, it's literally that thing we were talking about before. It's like Daryl's a really good character in The Walking Dead,
But
so people like fall in love with the
yeah,
actor.
yeah.
Like that's what happened.
Yeah, he's a good character,
Right.
but he doesn't do a lot of like acting.
Oh yeah, Jude Law.
You know what I mean? Like he
Jude
doesn't do a
Law,
lot of
indeed.
like there is some acting, but I feel like it's like he's like the same. Like when he was in what's the game?
That's Stranding.
Death Stranding. He basically, to me, he was just playing Daryl. Like it was just Daryl
Yeah.
again. That was his name, right? Daryl in The Walking
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
It was just Daryl again, and like he looked the same. They didn't even try to like make him look like give him some different hair or like get rid of that crappy scruff that he has on his face. That like
The greasy
like
hair.
two hairs that he has growing on his cheeks.
Ew.
What happened?
The guy
I
who
was-
played
I was just-
Yondu would be serious? No.
Would be serious? Oh,
Jan-
serious? No.
Yondu. Oh
no
God.
way, dude.
He
I
played.
can't
He was in
remember that
Walking
guy.
Dead too. He was his brother. He was
Yeah,
Daryl's brother.
I can't
He's a
remember
good
his name.
actor, but again, he plays
I
like
can't explain
the
that story,
same
dude. I'm
type of thing.
confused by it too.
what
Dude,
story?
Death
I
Stranding.
was so I
I'll
was
be right
thinking
back. I got
too, like I didn't. No offense, but I didn't like the second Dumbledore that they got.
I hated
Like, I know
that
the first-
second Dumbledore. I'm the one
Yeah.
that complains so much about him. I've disliked him from the moment he started.
His voice alone. His voice alone.
His
was wrong.
demeanor
Like,
is not Dumbledore.
yeah.
He has
Yeah,
no
like-
Dumbledore has that like spark of joy and like just that magical like aura to him, and like this other one's just like man, like I'm Dumbledore.
He's like a mafia wizard. Is what I always think about
Ugh.
when I look at him.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, it's a shame that he passed away, but the first Richard Harris, his name might have been, that first Dumbledore, I thought was
He
perfect.
was so
Voice,
good.
his look.
Who's good?
His
Dang.
demeanor, the first Dumbledore.
I don't think he's that good either.
What? I said the first one's good.
I don't think he's that good either. Like, I think that both of them aren't the book Dumbledore.
Yeah.
He's maybe a little
first-
closer in some ways, but I don't think
The first
either.
one was yeah. I think the voice is going to be like one of the most important things because the second
I'm
Dumbledore
sorry.
just
I
has
know
such,
you
like,
all
a
feel
harsh
ignored. We're not like reading comments.
I don't know
at
why
all
you're
today.
not. Like,
Because you guys are talking so much.
but you always interrupt us and do it anyway. Like today, you're
Mm-hmm.
just not reading them. Mike's reading them and responding, but you're not. Usually, you read them out loud. Do it now. Do it now.
He doesn't like that actor and anyone else.
Wait, what actor?
I don't think he's gross, but only in The Walking Dead.
Mm.
I think he's gross.
What about all this stuff up here?
I missed a bunch.
Then read it. Like it's still on the screen.
I don't know what that
Or
means.
don't read it. Okay.
I agree.
Nobody
about
knows what you're talking
Kylo,
about.
Who can play Hagrid and replace Robbie Coltrane, or who's going to replace? Oh wait, serious actors could come back. Harry is born in 1981. I think that's my brother's age, and my mother is 62 now. Shaq as Hagrid. That makes no sense. Yeah,
Shaq.
they were too old.
Yeah, Wizard.
Everything dies typo negative, whatever the heck that means. They need to have Newt with the same actor.
Typo negative. Is that a band? That sounds familiar. Typo
Oh
negative.
yeah.
Do they sing that in
I
a
don't
God
get
of
it though. Like Newt is not in the original series.
They show him in the only in the movies. They show him on the map for like a scene
Um,
on the Marauders map. They show like his little feet
guy
walking
who
around.
played. No, I read that.
Yeah, dude. I just want total. Yeah, I totally want unknown
Danny
people.
DeVito as Peter Pettigrew.
No.
There's no way the first
Too old.
Dumbledore could have done the needed action parts coming later.
I think that they definitely need to do, obviously new actors are good, but I feel like they need to have some names in there just to kind of bring in like, oh, this person's connected to this. Oh, maybe it will be good because it's part of the, it's part of the, but there are some actors that I honestly, I think that Kylo Ren would do, or Adam Driver would do.
That is a
really,
great.
I think he has that voice. He has that like super deep, like scary voice, and he can be serious. And
Dude.
I think he would be really good as Snape. That's my vote.
Dude, I'm so glad that scene of him as Kylo Ren with his shirt off became like a meme because when that happened in the movie, I laughed and like looked around. I was like,
dude, he's like SpongeBob SquarePants. He's so square. I mean, he got jacked though. Like he was skinny. Like he was like a scrawny little guy. He got big.
He said, "Who can play the most hated teacher, scary face?" I'm blanking on her name. Oh, you're talking about
Donald Trump. Donald Trump as Sirius Snape.
What's her name?
No, not Snape. What's her face?
Umbridge.
Umbridge. Yeah.
The guy who played Walter White should be Voldemort. Why? Just because he's bald?
Bald or white?
I disagree.
Balder White.
Dude, honestly, the guy that played Voldemort is awesome.
And he cooks wizard meth.
Did you see him in the Kingsman or whatever?
Mike Myers, no.
No.
I don't think he should be anywhere involved in this show.
Dude, you know what sucks honestly though about the original Peeps not being involved is they could play some. They're the perfect age to play some of the adult characters now.
Yeah.
Like Harry, Daniel Radcliffe would be perfect to be James, and then Ron could be the dad or Mr. Weasley or whatever. Actually, I think. Actually, are they older? I don't know their age.
They're like our age, aren't they?
I think they're like a little younger than me, so more like
I
your
think
age.
they're our age.
I just hope they get Fred and George right, dude. Reading the books again, those two are like my favorite characters.
Yeah, I was watching I saw an interview of the two of them, and the girl was just like, so when you guys first met on the thing, and then they looked at each other and they're like, is she serious? But she was assuming that they weren't brothers.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty dumb. I don't know, man. I don't know if it was fake or not, but
Dude,
like
them
they were like, yeah, no, when we met, it was crazy. We were like, whoa, you know, like
Them
that's
in
not what they
the-
said, but it was like they played it off really good. I
Oh
was
my
just like,
god, this keeps
this
crackling.
is amazing.
Them in the books like literally made me laugh out loud
Me
like
too.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Like
I just love
I
too
love
that
them
they
in the
get
books.
filthy. They get filthy rich, dude. Like I love it. Like
Yeah,
they're
with that
playing
bet.
totally where, yeah, that, and then like their gamble doing like the wizards, like the joke shop, like totally pays off, and they become like filthy freaking rich. Like
Yeah.
they're in like dragon skin suits
it's
and
I
stuff.
think
But
I don't know. I think that death is probably the saddest in the entire series.
dude, for real, the hardest laugh I've had so far. And I don't even remember how much humor is in the seventh book at all. I know it gets pretty serious, but the hardest laugh I've had was when I think it was the sixth book where they're in like Hermione and them are like in their room, their old room, and then she gets like punched by like a telescope that had like a little fist on a string or on a spring. I don't know why, but I was like laughing so hard out loud. It's just,
You may have to remind me of the exact scene, but like I distinctly remember reading a scene, and I was in Starbucks, and it was a scene where like Fred and George talked about like sending their sister Ginny like a toilet seat from Hogwarts, and then the mom was like, "Don't you dare!" That one, like I don't know what happened, but I like literally laughed out loud.
And then later, I think someone's in the hospital, and there's like a mound of candy in a toilet seat. Like someone's in like the hospital.
The dad or whatever. Oh no, I
Yeah,
know what you're meaning. Yeah.
I don't know why people are so. I've been literally asking for this for like the longest time. It may be terrible. Who knows? But like, why not try? You know what I mean? They can do it. And just try it.
And if you're being honest, the movies aren't like sacred ground. Like one director, I think it was Goblet of Fire movie. They didn't even read the book. He read like 5 chapters or something.
Jesus.
And stuff. And then seeing now how different Ron is in the book, that like Ron's just like a jokester dummy in the movie. Like
he was my favorite character. Yeah, he's my favorite.
What was that?
He was my favorite character in the books.
Who?
Ron.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, like dude,
I hated Harry. I just thought Harry was just like privileged. He just like had so much. Like I remember that thing I showed you.
Except his whole family died.
Yeah.
And everyone he cared about.
So.
Except Ron and Hermione.
All right, I that did suck, but I'm saying like the story was about him, but he didn't do anything. He like literally didn't do anything. Even like at the end, he didn't do anything.
All right,
he just stood there and did nothing, and it just worked out for him. You know what I'm saying?
What if it got so woke they got Andrew Tate as Voldemort?
I don't know who
Tate
that is.
Would be awesome. Who is that?
Oh, is he the guy that got arrested over in the thing for like women?
He's like an over the top.
Yeah.
He's like a men's rights.
Isn't
guy,
that the
like,
opposite of woke?
Yeah, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it is the opposite of woke, but that is just funny, dude. No, Voldemort should be.
Oh, I get it. So wait, so he would be played by Voldemort. Got it. Why don't you just don't put them both in your ear? Or don't shove it in so far.
Please don't bring
Voldemort
back the old
should
Ginny.
be Joffrey.
I agree. The old Ginny was like the
he doesn't act
worst
anymore.
Actress.
I know, but that he would have been a good Malfoy if he was that same age, honestly. If he was like a kid.
You think? I don't think that what's his face that played Malfoy could play his dad. I don't think he could play Lucius.
Lucius?
I don't think he could. I mean maybe, but I just feel like he's too like he's not as like evil looking. Like he doesn't
Lucius was cast. Lucius was cast pretty damn well.
Most of the characters I think were cast well. I think
I think Ginny was like one of the worst.
50 bucks. Flitwick is played by the same dude. He's played I can't remember his name.
He's getting old too, man. All of them are getting old.
I know. I'm just saying that's my bet. Is if anyone comes back, it's him. That's just my bet.
Have you ever seen the meme? No, I'm not reading that. I don't know what that's about. It's a darker. What? Okay, no. What do you think of Fred and George in the movies? I like them.
They were good. They needed more scenes though. That's the only thing. Like they needed all the scenes in the book that they were in needed to be in the movies. Like that's the problem.
A TV show really is the best way to.
I think so too,
There's
man.
there's no way unless every movie, unless like once you get to say Goblet of Fire, every movie is at least 3.5 hour long.
Yeah.
Like that's, and even that wouldn't be enough.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, the thing is like too, like the I wonder if they do this and it does well, if they will start like toward the big books, if they'll split it into 2 seasons. Like that's the thing with Game of Thrones. Like they like even the author said he's like I thought they were gonna do like 15 seasons and they just decided to stop. But that again was because of the 2 idiot directors that were
they got a Star Wars offer and then so they just
and they're like, oh, let's just get out of here.
Get canceled too.
Yeah.
All right,
which is awesome. Oh, by the way, that guy that I mentioned with the Star Wars thing, he's getting his own movie too.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Who? What guy?
Not Favreau, the other guy.
Dave.
Oh,
Filoni.
Dave Filoni.
Elamar said privileged. He lived under the stairs. Wait, my brain had a thought. Both parents dead, get riches, and has 2 friends. Wait a minute. Trump is Harry, and we got something. I don't understand.
So what about all right, so Harry, super wealthy. Remember that thing I showed you? Gets taken in by like his poor friend's family. Mm-hmm. Lives with them for a while. Never offers to help with any sort of like financial trouble, and then just he just has so much money. Why doesn't he just give them some of his money?
I think it's kind of like clear
they were proud
that they wouldn't take it.
He offered kind of at one point and they said no.
Well, but that's when he just buys them and something with it. Don't take no for an answer. If you want to give somebody something, you don't offer. You give it to them.
No. Here. Well, one, that's true. I agree with you. But like 2 is like it's weird though. Like and I don't understand this. Is like Harry definitely at first doesn't want them to know he's loaded. But then at the same time, like people multiple times throughout the books, like throw him a bag of money and it's like, oh, we stopped by your vault. So it's like, how did you do that? Like, I don't remember who it was. So maybe Mrs. Weasley was one of them. But it's like she was just allowed to be like, Harry Potter's vault, please. Like I'm getting it for him. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like, huh? But see, Harry, I actually like Harry, and I think a lot of it is justified. Like a lot of how he acts is justified, especially him being like angry. I just don't like how angry he gets. Like for like, there's so many times where he just totally loses his mind.
I just don't like him.
I guess.
I just think he's
I mean, fair enough, but
I mean, if you were put in his situation as a teenager, you might be a little jerk too for a little bit. It's not like he stayed a jerk.
But he did become a jerk in the Cursed Child.
Oh, that was a whole different.
Mm-hmm. That was so atrocious.
Apparently canon as well.
Elamar thinks that this is a top 5 live stream except for me.
What? Why?
Because I'm bored. I'm not bored. I'm angry.
Why?
Because you yell at me about not reading this stuff, and every time I try to read something, you talk over me.
So
it's annoying.
Not, dude. It's not like the chat is flying by. They say something and then they don't say something for 5 minutes.
Not
like,
true.
You could be reading right now.
You know what I find weird?
It really comes in waves.
Half-bloods don't know their ancestry, and purebloods do. Wasn't the Weasleys pure? They were connected to Sirius. Why is that weird?
It does mention that. It mentions, I think, Mrs. Weasley and Sirius being distant cousins. Maybe they were related. Everyone's honestly all the like pureblood people like are like Tonks is related to the Malfoys.
Yeah.
Was an awesome choice for Hagrid.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised if that play gets adapted. Ugh. I agree with T. Cursed Child needs to be burned to the ground.
I feel like Prisoner of Azkaban just barely gets by like the time travel thing being a problem. And then I feel like she really fixed it by the fact that all of the time turners got destroyed in the Ministry in Order of the Phoenix. and then for them to then reintroduce it and do it so poorly, like, oh my god, dude, that thing was mess.
Also, it's like just make new ones. Magic.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one thing.
Well, I'm guessing it would be like banned.
Okay. So are the I know 3 curses that are also banned.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, nobody's stopping anybody. What are they gonna do? Kill me?
Yeah, right. Kill me.
That's the one thing I like. But I've talked about the universe enough where like I hate certain things about it. Like just the logic doesn't make sense. You know.
Yeah, I still.
But you can't think about that stuff in a lot of ways. You got to just like okay, I'm just not gonna pay attention to the rules of this world. I'll just accept it. That's what you got.
Yeah, like the Weasleys being poor. Okay, they can't buy firebolts. I get it, or whatever. But like them not being able to have like a sweet mansion, I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I knew how to do it,
literally bring things into existence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if I knew how to build a house, right? Like say I knew how to build houses and I could summon wood, I could technically build a mansion. Now add on top of that the magic where you could just be like, yo, make a mansion, my dude. Like, yeah, some of the magic I don't get.
Also working doesn't make any sense. Like working. Like like why? I'll just automate it, you know? I'll just have AI magic do the thing for me. It's like in Fantastic Beasts. What's her name? The one you like from Fantastic Beasts?
Queenie?
Yeah. So she magically cooks like a what is it called? Like some sort of cake thing, like a pastry thing. And when Jacob eats it, he's like, "Oh my god, this is like the best thing I've ever ate." And she made it in like 30 seconds. She's just like, magic. And then like it just forms in the air. It perfectly browns. And I'm just like thinking like, you can do that with magic? Like you could just make a perfectly like cooked meal? Like
here's the question too. Why would you magically make a cake? Why couldn't you just magically summon a cake?
If you summon it, you're pulling it from somewhere else. Like
well, not that, but I'm saying it's like conjure. Like why conjure the like you can conjure the ingredients and make it.
So do the laws of physics
like it would have to exist somewhere.
Do the laws of physics not like work in the wizarding world? You know, like if you just summon it from somewhere, it has to be made from something, right? Like you can't just make matter out of nothing. That's not.
Well, that's
possible.
That's the weird thing about when they turn like a teacup into a rat. Is it's like, okay, so does that rat have a soul? Like what?
No, the teacup had a soul, and now it's in the rat.
T said maybe they'll find a way to explain the magic system or create a better one.
They won't. That's the downside of the wizarding world, is that there is no system.
Do what Percy Jackson's doing and have unknown actors mixed with known ones.
Yeah, I just want I could see a sprinkle, you know, like side characters, they can get like big, but I think that the main cast, one, they have to be young, so they're gonna be new actors. Like you can't have a 10-year-old that's well known, and I really hope they don't have one that's well known.
Yeah.
I hope
the girl from the Last of Us is gonna be Hermione. And just really piss people off.
What's her No, she wouldn't.
Bella Ramsey.
I think the thing with the twins is that not that they were greedy and didn't tell their parents about having all that money, is that their parents kept discouraging them from doing this business and creating things for a business because they didn't think it was like anything that could take off, and they wanted them to actually be in school.
Yeah.
So I think they were hiding it because they didn't want to get in trouble.
Which is crazy.
And they wanted to do what they wanted to do.
Which is crazy.
I mean, I also think there is like some element of like pride that could be where like they didn't want to be handed stuff. You know what I mean? Like, wait a second, hold on. Why do they even have to buy like robes? Or why do robes have to get old and they can't be turned new again?
Dude, I know.
Like,
I told you that none of the magic makes sense. It's stupid. So you just have to like when you watch or read Harry Potter, you just need to pretend that you're an idiot. Yeah. Just pretend that you're stupid, and you'll figure it out, and you'll enjoy it. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that Harry Potter is for dumb people because I love it. But you gotta kind of like shut off your brain. And then that's a big thing that people like complain about the Marvel stuff and all this other stuff where they're like, oh, it's so stupid. And it's like, it's fun. Just enjoy it. You don't have to worry about it, but at least the logic sometimes most of the times makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because like say with like Mario or like or Marvel stuff like what you just said. Like what's a huge popular like serious movie that like everybody loves? Like I can't think of one off the top of my head, but it's like, do you want that? Yeah, it's like, do you want every movie to be like that? Like, it's like is that what they want? They want every movie to be like heavy like that.
Yeah.
Like it's like crazy. Like honestly, like I like stuff like that here and there, sparingly. But I find watching stuff like that like physically exhausting. Like when you watch like a real serious thing, like even like something, even to honestly early Game of Thrones, when like anything could happen, or like when like a character you really like could die. It's like I find that kind of exhausting, and I'm glad not everything is like that. So like honestly, that's what I love about things like whatever we were just talking about, whatever lighthearted Marvel stuff. That's what I love about Marvel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is for the most part it's fun, and then there's serious epic moments, and that's just fun. Dude.
People are always complaining about like, oh, everything has to have Marvel humor now, or like ever since Disney took over Star Wars, it's always Marvel humor, and I'm like, it's okay. I enjoy it. I like it.
See, I agree. I agree with that though, because like sometimes it feels like it really comes out of nowhere. Like so, I feel like it sticks out like a sore thumb in Star Wars because Star Wars is like strangely serious, and then like I mean,
remember that Lucas did make Jar Jar, and he was in an entire movie, and he was in a big part of that first movie, and that was on him. He made that. He's the creator.
That's true.
And he basically made a baby for babies because basically he was for kids. He was made to be like, I'm a silly clown. Look at me. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's. I mean, that is true, but I think more so than the actual jokes themselves is how they come out of nowhere. That's the thing that always sticks out and stuff. So the more I do agree with that point, but I mean, I don't know. I'm with you either way though about everybody wanting everything like so serious. Like honestly, with a Mario movie, like what would have made them happy if
the original Mario that tried to be super serious?
Yeah, like was Luigi just to get like hit by a fireball and like die like at the end? Like I don't get it. Like that would be actually kind of savage.
You want to read the chat? No, nothing important.
They're talking about who Norbert was.
Who is Norbert?
Hagrid's dragon.
Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna get off now. It's late. We stayed on a little bit longer because we were late before, so I figured let's just to make up for apologies. I don't know. And Mike sounds like crap today because he's basically on a phone connection, like a literally cell phone call.
This Mike that was
that in the beginning.
Yeah, well,
this Mike that was off screen
anyway.
For show.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.